listening to mine. Why did I leave my passion behind? I started up again and made my mark, my signature.
16 boundaries so far in the innings. 27 dots. Taken a little while to get themselves set, both openers at the start of the innings. Shikhar Dhawan is playing the ideal innings in a 50-over game. He's gotten a start and he's moving closer and closer to that landmark 3 figures. He gets there, it will be his 11th in his career. Already accumulated 10. Very prolific of late. Scored the most runs in the recent Champions Trophy competition. A big 100 against Sri Lanka, 125. And 3 half centuries to that. Looking at another 3-figure here.
And it wasn't easy when he came into the Indian side. People who follow Indian cricket would remember it was Virendra Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, and those are big shoes to fill in. And he came in and he took over the role from Virendra Sehwag straight away. He was dominant to start at the start of his career, but now he plays these long innings. It's not about the aggressive nature right at the top, but it's the consistency that he's brought into the Indian batting order. And with Virat Kohli, it's more about consistency at the top. It's not attack. Attack all comes in at the end with Dhoni, Yuvraj Singh, Hardik Pandya has joined that gang, Kedar Jadhav.
A single. Yeah, Shikhar Dhawan, he's been an integral part of Sunrisers Hyderabad team in the IPL. Remember, they were defending champions before 2017. Put himself, David Warner, at the top of the innings, very prolific. Last delivery from Bishu. Nice piece of fielding. Just 4 runs from the over. It's 160 for 1.
Introducing Pepsi Black. Max Taste 0 calories, now in India.
FIFA Confederations Cup Russia 2017. Mexico versus Russia. Tomorrow 8:30 p.m. Live on 10.2 and 10.1 HD.
Speaking about Shikhar Dhawan, this is what he's produced over the course of the last 5 years. Very good year in 2013 and in 2016, now 2017 as well. We were speaking off air about Shikhar Dhawan and how he probably would have learnt with that experience opening the batting for the Sunrisers Hyderabad alongside David Warner.
Yeah, what you saw, he came in 2013 and he was that aggressive player, and then he had that a little patch in 2015 where he didn't have that great run. And I think what has helped him is to play with David Warner, and when they play at the Sunrisers there, he's got a different role. He had to start playing a different role. And David Warner was the aggressor there, and he just had to play the second fiddle. And I think over the last year or so, I feel that he's started to enjoy that role rather than be that aggressive. He's learned that it's more consistent. I can actually take a little more time, don't need to take those risks, and that has made him a consistent player. And now he just loves getting those runs, and it's a habit. Once you get into that habit, and especially with one-day cricket, because the game flows in very similar ways. Test cricket, everywhere you go, it keeps changing.
Yeah, I also feel that experience has shown in his game and what he's been able to produce. You take a player like Evan Lewis, young player, lots of talent, very aggressive. Still, he's not understood the ebbs and flows in an innings. You're seeing that from Shikhar Dhawan now, understanding that he's got to respect some bowlers at certain times in his innings, and he's able to convert a lot more. That's experience. Maybe Evan Lewis needs to take a look at his approach, maybe apply it.
Seems like a certain player, because peppering Virat Kohli with short ones. They've added that extra fielder at gully. It's something I haven't seen before, so there's certainly something that the West Indian team has seen with Virat Kohli. It'll be interesting to see how he handles that, how he goes about. Because the best thing about Virat Kohli over the last 10 years has been that you don't see him as the same player the next season. He adds something to his game, whether it's shots that he's added, the fitness. He's always thinking, so it's good for a player like that you keep asking questions, because he will come up with answers.
Nicely played, sent back. Virat Kohli, and quite rightly so. You need to be risking a wicket for a run. First one quickly, and then Virat Kohli very decisive in his communication. Attempts the pull shot. It's way in front there, and he will get a boundary. The first in his innings. 31 overs gone. It's 166 for 1.
ब्रो अब इंडिया हुआ है आइडिया 4G पे हुक. लुक
आइडिया 4G पे देखो इंडिया हुआ हुक. लुक खाते हुए पकाते हुए चबाते हुए भगाते हुए पार मचा चुड़गारू देखो गुरु. लुक आइडिया 4G पे देखो इंडिया हुआ हुक. लुक
इंडिया हो गया है आइडिया 4G पे हुक. आइडिया 4G इंडिया जितना बड़ा नेटवर्क.
Another nice partnership developing here between Virat Kohli and Shikhar Dhawan. 34 from 36. Just adding to that century partnership. Devendra Bishu, he's been fairly economical in his spell so far, into his 8th over, just conceding 33 runs.
What role does he play, Bishu, for West Indies? Is he going to come in and bowl the middle overs with an open field and just bowl economically, or is he meant to take wickets?
When he started his Test career, he was a real wicket taker, and then many felt he was over bowled a bit. Just went off the boil in terms of his effectiveness, in terms of taking wickets, and now he's back. Had a good Test series against Pakistan, got a 5-wicket haul there. That's his role. He needs to come and create opportunities for wickets, put the opposition under pressure. Stifled appeal. Took a long time and given. So the first wicket for Devendra Bishu via the LBW route.
They're having a chat whether to go for DRS. He has asked for it.
Well, we will have to wait and see. Concerns raised there by Virat Kohli and Shikhar Dhawan. No problems there. Legal delivery. I think the question will be whether it pitches in line or if there was bat on it. Doesn't really look like there's any contact with the bat, but looks like it pitches in line as well. So looks good if you're a West Indian supporter. No contact there. So we will have a look at the tracker now to see if it goes on to make contact with the stumps. Yes, everything being ticked off. It's a very good decision. And we will get the confirmation. So wicket number 2 for the West Indies. The big one, Shikhar Dhawan looking well set for another century in his career. He will have to go. Will be a disappointed man because he's put in the hard work. Gone for 87. It's 168 for 2.
Hey, Myra, संभाल के baby.
Finally, अपना घर.
Happy?
Very happy.
ओए, क्या हुआ?
कुछ नहीं यार, बस एक सपना था. जब अपना घर हो, बाहर एक गार्डन होना चाहिए.
Oh, 20th floor पे garden. Yay! आपका गार्डन?
ये सपना है.
आओ.
सच है. कैसे?
Amazon से.
घास भी?
हाँ, see?
यहाँ मिलेगा घर सजाने का मुश्किल से मुश्किल हर सामान. Amazon, इंडिया के सपनों की अपनी दुकान.
So Yuvraj Singh, the veteran, comes to the crease, playing his 400th international match. 302 of those in his ODI career. Looked in very good form in that recent Champions Trophy tournament. 32 overs gone, 168 for 2.
McDowell's #1 soda. आज बनाओ #1 यारी.
FIFA Confederations Cup Russia 2017. New Zealand versus Portugal. Tomorrow 8:30 p.m. Live on 6 and 6 HD.
So 2 new batsmen for India. The captain Virat Kohli, joined by Yuvraj Singh. West Indies making inroads into this batting lineup. Jason Holder bringing himself back onto the attack. This was the last wicket.
The ball didn't do much, no spin, nothing, just a slider, but Shikhar Dhawan goes across. Look at that toe again. He tries to play that around that foot, and you know, at this time he doesn't connect that one, and that was going to go on to hit the wicket. Vishu's carried on bowling that. It's just that the batsman has made a mistake this time.
In the gap might be a couple for Virat Kohli. Yeah, with that dismissal, Shikhar Dhawan should have been playing that more to mid-on or maybe mid-wicket. And again, when you're set, sometimes you take a little more risk than normal. And consistency paying off for Devendra Bishu. There's 2 overs remaining in his quota of overs. Punched into the gap. very calculated and watchful. Virat Kohli, one of the best finishers in the game. He's got an amazing record as a batsman. 27 ODI centuries in his career so far. A real batting power in world cricket, you would say.
Without a doubt. And for us Indians, surely, look at that career with that strike rate of 91. Either you get consistency with certain players or you get that strike rate, but with this man you get both, and the strike rates got better and better over the years. So what you see at 91 now is a career strike rate, but if you probably take just the last couple of years, it'd probably be over 100. Once he gets in, it generally takes the team to the end. He'd be disappointed with what happened in England in that final, but he'd leave it behind and move on and try and change that.
Just look at his record since 2013, 52-58. Didn't quite have a good year in 2015, but look at 2016 and 2017 thus far. Prolific run scorer. Five runs from the over. It's 173 for 2.
Mom is here again.
अब देखना चेक करने के लिए डैड को भेजेंगी.
Mom, it's physics.
It's biology.
This is your heart. Slice it open to see the four chambers. Blood from the body is pushed to the lungs to bring back oxygen, which is then pumped to the rest of the body. And this is double circulation.
Come fall in love with learning. Download Byju's, the learning app.
Bishu continues. What I like about Virat Kohli is the situations in which he scored those runs. Most of it pressure situations, having to score at a particular rate and finish a game off. More often than not, finishes on the winning side. And if you add what he's been able to accomplish as captain as well, and taking that burden of responsibility, he's done very well as a captain for India. The captains who've really played over 25 matches, he's second to Clive Lloyd in terms of his success rate.
You were saying about Yuvraj Singh at one time that he looked solid when he played that. The thing with Yuvraj is either you get solid or nothing. There's no middle. He's not one of those who will struggle and still go through an innings. He's got that beautiful flow with that bat. So he may get out sometime, but you'd rarely see an innings from Yuvraj Singh where he's struggling and is still grinding it out. He's not one of those grinders ever. On the other hand, Virat Kohli would never give it up, no matter what the situation is. Good over from Bishu, 174 for 2. And it'll be a drinks break.
Sorry, Tata.
Save your seat and unwind with the Seagram's Royal Stag Mega Cricket Cup West Indies vs India ODI Series. Second ODI Sunday, June 25th, 5:45 PM onwards, live and exclusive.
अरे
Co-presented by India is hooked on Idea 4G, India's big network, Amazon, India के सपनों की अपनी दुकान, and new Samsung Galaxy J7 Max. Life is now. In association with Raymond, the complete man.
बनो अपनी किस्मत का डायरेक्टर। DSP Black Soda।
Aggressive.
Excellent. He just squeezed it in. Very nicely played. Curry again. Pulls it out the back.
Seagram's Royal Stag Mega Cricket Cup West Indies vs India ODI Series. Second ODI Sunday, June 25th, 5:45 PM onwards, live and exclusive.
After 34 overs, India dominant. Virat Kohli, Yuvraj Singh at the crease. We've had 2 wickets to go down so far. These are the 2 wickets. Ajinkya Rahane, the first, attempting a lofted shot down the ground, just spooned it to Jason Holder off the bowling of Alzari Joseph. Just rolled his fingers off this one, took the pace off and deceived Rahane. Fine half century for him, and then his partner, opening partner, Shikhar Dhawan, going by the LBW route. It was reviewed and it ticked all the boxes. He had to depart. Fine innings of 87 from 92. Just missed out on another ODI century. It's been hard work for the West Indies, and this man, Jason Holder, will be searching for wickets. Try and ensure that he's chasing a total that he can get close to. Another short delivery to Virat Kohli.
Yeah, certainly something new we've seen. Not many teams around the world have tried that, but West Indies feel that there's something to do with Virat Kohli. They bowled short to him. He's pulled one in front of mid-wicket as well, but this one was higher than he expected, took the top edge. At least it gives something to think about rather than just go and bowl to Virat Kohli and get smashed all over. Brings in some excitement as well as a viewer.
Yeah, what we've seen from Virat, he's been very watchful early on, left a couple, and he's made the decision that he's got to score off of these short deliveries.
These are the number of deliveries that have been bowled short. There you go. One. He's got right behind every ball. There's no doubt about that. And there's never been a problem with short bowling. But it's something new that I'm seeing that's being tried against Virat Kohli, which is worth trying because there aren't many weaknesses that you can pick up. So credit to Team West Indies there. At least they've got everybody else thinking as well that this is what you could try against him.
And just like a great player, what he's done, he's looked at it. Most of the great players, they find a way of scoring, even if they're under pressure. He was very defensive there, as you saw in the first couple of deliveries, and then started to attack those short deliveries.
Kept moving his field. He's got a slip in now for Yuvraj Singh. He's got 3 men on the offside, 2 on the onside. So trying to stop that single. Short ball to Yuvraj as well. That's something we've seen very often last couple of years. Most players around the world feel that Yuvraj has this weakness against the short pitch bowling.
Yeah, look at that. Short deliveries dominating against Virat Kohli.
Don't expect that because it wasn't, they didn't bowl enough of those against Rahane or Shikhar Dhawan. So it's not the style of bowling that this team has. It's only specific against Virat Kohli. So some sort of a plan. I'm sure this man will find an answer to it.
Over the last half an hour, the weather has changed a bit. Just getting a bit overcast. Nice for bowlers in these conditions. You try to extract a little bit of swing. It's not that hot. A little more energy. Will be a couple easily, but we've had quite a bit of rain in Trinidad a couple of days ago. There was a storm. Brett, we'll get back to that. 35 overs gone, 180 for 2.
Samsung.
$180 for 2 then, and Vishu will bowl out his ball beautifully. 9 overs, 1 for 35. It's troubled the batsman. He's changed his pace. Now he's got the left-hander in front of him. Where do India go from here? Normally it's 180 for 2, 35 overs. Go at 8 and over, you'll get to 300. It's not been very easy to bat in the last few minutes or so. Last 10 matches when India batted first, the average has been 302. Singles are available. Particularly interesting seeing how Yuvraj goes from here. He's got time. Didn't always get a lot at the Champion Trophy. It's just such an elegance about him. Difficult to believe he's been around since 2000. First saw him as a very young kid in Kenya against Australia. Got in and made a very bold, almost brash 80. 17 years later, lots of upheavals later, is still going strong. Jeffrey Dujon joins me.
Still morning, Asha. Yeah, it's
9 o'clock start.
Yeah, well, there you go. So Yuvraj, he's had his challenges, and it's just a testimony to his real inner strength that he's overcome, and he's still here and still performing well, still good enough to be in the Indian lineup. Didn't have a great Champions Trophy, but we all know what he's capable of. 184 for 2.
Introducing Pepsi Black. Is it the tastiest zero-calorie cola ever? There's only one way to find out. Max Taste Zero Calories, now in India.
Seagram's Royal Stag Mega Cricket Cup West Indies vs India ODI Series. Second ODI Sunday, June 25th, 5:45 p.m. onwards, live and exclusive.
The wind has picked up, and in the backdrop isn't quite blazing blue anymore. There were these angry clouds. They're just starting to turn up over the mountains. It was bowled out, and now Holder's getting there. He's in his 8th over. So what is the wind telling us, Jeffrey? Tell us, what is the wind telling us?
Well, there's not a lot of sun around. Still some hesitancy with the running. It's not much sun around. It's getting a bit overcast. The clouds are gathering behind us, and that's actually where the rain would be blowing to. So we could be in for a really damp afternoon, Harsha.
Is there something else you want to talk about? Look at that.
No, those are the clouds behind us, and they're unfortunately heading this way. And hopefully they'll just pass by the ground, which they do from time to time. So all is not lost.
Depends on who's playing. Maybe they just look down and say it's looking too good to interrupt. Oh, now what's that in the air? It is. Was a man at mid-wicket, and he was well inside the 30-yard circle, Evan Lewis. Yuvraj timed that so well. It went straight in.
Yes, he struck this with a lot of power and timing, and got to Evan Lewis quite quickly. Took a sharp catch. And disappointment for Yuvraj. Didn't quite get in, and he's got to go for 4. It's 185 for 3.
Hey, Myra, संभाल के baby.
Finally, अपना घर.
Happy?
Very happy.
ओए, क्या हुआ?
कुछ नहीं यार, बस एक सपना था. जब अपना घर हो, बाहर एक गार्डन होना चाहिए.
Oh, 20th floor पे garden. Yay! आपका गार्डन?
ये सपना है.
Ow!
सच है. Yes.
Amazon से.
घास भी?
हाँ, see?
यहाँ मिलेगा घर सजाने का मुश्किल से मुश्किल हर सामान. Amazon, इंडिया के सपनों की अपनी दुकान.
MS Dhoni walks out, one of the most silent receptions he's had for a long time. Almost, I almost thought he'd look around and say, do I have to come back again? There's not a lot of people around today. As I said, very early start. The wind is now blowing. What a career. Average of 51, 9,300 runs. And remember, batting for major part of it at 5 and 6. Except for that early start when the long-haired young man batted at 3. And along with the hair, the position dropped in the batting order as well. Oops, sorry, dude.
Well, I don't think the reception is going to bother him too much, because I think his intention is to come out here and make some noise. That's Yuvraj's wicket. Really timed it sweetly. Fortunately, straight to a fieldsman.
A shot, isn't it? When it leaves your bat, you think, ah, nice. It's where the fielder come from. Bowler's got 1 for 32. Now Bishu bowled out 10 overs, 1 for 39. Keep an eye out for how these two run between wickets. We grew up in the era that I did when running between the wickets was a rather more measured activity, rather more languid. These two run like there's a flight leaving every minute.
And I think it's the difference between scores of 250 being good in those days and 300 being the norm now.
Dhoni's got time. Always measure time a little differently when Dhoni's in, because it seems to move much slower. 3 of the over and a wicket. It's 187 for 3.
Until you don't hear your beating heart, until every moment doesn't feel like a new challenge, until you don't lose to yourself, until the fight isn't against yourself, until you don't get what you've never had, until then, it's not large. Live now, live large. Seagram's Royal Stag Mega Music. It's your life. Make it large.
Seagram's Royal Stag Mega Cricket Cup West Indies vs India ODI Series. Second ODI Sunday, June 25th, 5:45 PM onwards, live and exclusive.
It's a good start for India. Rahane and Shikhar Dhawan put on 132. Then Dhawan for 87 and Yuvraj just now for 4. Picking holder straight to Evan Lewis at mid-wicket. Now Dhoni's in. Kohli's had his struggles early on. On most surfaces, Virat Kohli gets going. He's played 40 balls. He's 37, 38 not out. Maybe sometimes 45.
Well, they've got Jonathan Carter into the attack now, and this is where the West Indies could let it all go. It's just gentle medium. And it's got to be spot on. So this little spell of his is going to be very, very crucial for the West Indies. Got to limit the boundaries. As I reckon, after having a little look at him, he's the man they're going to pick to go after.
Wonder why they've gone to him though. Well, he's got 5 bowlers. No one's really been taken to the cleaners, unless he just wants a difference in pace. But it does though, and I haven't seen a lot of Jonathan Carter. It takes away a brilliant fielder. He was fabulous to watch. I reckon he saved about 10-12 runs today. There you are. Holder's got 2. Joseph's got 2. Maybe he's a little worried about Ashley Nurse.
I think that's probably it. If he can sneak in a couple of overs from Jonathan Carter here. But don't go for too many.
An interesting approach though, because it's always dangerous to get off-spinner in towards the tail end of the innings. Nurse has only bowled 4, so he's got to get 6 of the last 13 between Nurse and Carter. Vishu bowled beautifully, just let him bowl through at one end.
Well, there's Ruston Chase as well, who bowls a bit of off-spin. But these overs are going to be crucial. It's got to sneak in a couple that are not that are a couple of cheap overs. Maybe bring the seamers back, or rather the quicker bowlers back.
You know the pitch report this morning. This morning, very early this morning. When you looked at it, what did you think was a good score on the surface? Because Virat Kohli said he thought it might get slower as it went along.
Well, I think anywhere in the region about 270. 270, between 270 and 280 would be a good score here. Those don't normally get scores bigger than that on this pitch. We may not even get this innings to finish as the rain is starting to come down.
You read the pitch well, you read the clouds well. It's 189 for 3.
It's gonna sound crazy. Don't wanna be late. I need to see now. Tomorrow can wait. Life is now, and you're so round, round, round. Life is now.
Samsung.
Well, I was just saying, Jeffrey Dujon read the pitch right and the conditions right as well. The covers are coming on. It's not a sharp shower, but it's coming down all right. It's not exactly driven everybody off. They're walking off the field. But we need the... And now we'll have to go back to our weather expert, who kept wickets a little bit in his time. How long? Hopefully it'll just pass over. But what we must tell you is the clouds that were headed this way were pretty angry looking.
Yes, I think that we're going to be off for a decent period. Can only hope that what's coming is just as light as this. Because if it gets really heavy, it's going to be an issue with parts of the outfield as well. So let's look at some of these.
Yes, and this is the phase when India were batting really well. Ajinkya Rahane and Shikhar Dhawan. This was the shot that took the shackles off Ajinkya Rahane, and then he played some really good shots after that. Watched Shikhar Dhawan play that one, but then this one of the back foot from Rahane, and a beautiful cover drive of the front foot. He was to follow it up with one more straighter down the ground. Suddenly he blossomed in that period, did Rahane. Then had a little scare as he searched for the ball, followed it with this one. This was a beautiful shot. I've seen it 3 or 4 times. I could watch it any number of times. Just when it seemed that there's going to be a lot of runs here, and Nurse wasn't quite able to contain them. And they lost a couple of wickets. There was a possibility of a run out here. He did hit the stumps direct, but Dhawan was back in. In fact, well in. Brought of a half century for Ajinkya Rahane. That little streaky shot through slip. He's been back in the side after a long time. This is just the right scenario for him. Then similarly to Shikhar Dhawan as well. It seemed really to me at that stage like India were well set for about 320, 330. Then was deceived by the slower one from Cummins. No, from Joseph rather. Then Virat Kohli came and struggled a little bit. You don't see struggles in highlights, you see the boundaries. And that one in front of square for 4, the wicket of Shikhar Dhawan. They reviewed it strangely because it looked very close the moment it impacted pad. Then this one of Yuvraj hit really well, but straight to Evan Lewis. Wickets fell 132, 168 and 185. But now they're getting the big covers in as well as the angry clouds sweeping over the Queen's Park Oval. Rahane is 62, Dhawan 87, Yuvraj 4. But Kohli's got a start, 30 from 45. Dhoni's just run a couple of singles quickly. There's a lot of batting to come. You've got an hour before you start losing over, so we've got a bit of time. But at the moment, I'm afraid, the covers at the Queen's Park Oval.
Bowling for the West Indies, one for Holder, Joseph and Bishu. Bowlers really struggled, but in the last 5 overs or so, only 17 runs were scored. So the West Indies coming back into their own, and with the break, it's up in the air as to when this weather is going to end. But we'll just have to wait it out.
So that's where it's coming from. If you're on a holiday, that's a beautiful sight. If you come to watch cricket, it isn't. Umbrellas and covers never a great sight, so that's what it is at the moment.
You're watching 6 HD.
ATP World Tour Uncovered. Your exclusive weekly pass behind the scenes of the ATP World Tour. Bringing you closer than ever to your favourite players and tournaments from around the world. ATP World Tour Uncovered. Never miss a beat. This week on ATP World Tour Uncovered, Spain's in the spotlight as Rafa goes for a 10th title in Barcelona. It begins in Budapest with a special report from the inaugural Gazprom Hungarian Open. And Elias in Ethiopia, we take a trip with the next-gen star back to Africa. First to the Real Club de Tennis Barcelona 1899. This is Spain's oldest tournament, the Barcelona Open Bank Sabadell. And it's become a special event for everyone behind the scenes and those on centre stage.
Well, for me it's an honor, to be the tournament director of this big event here in Barcelona. It's one of the biggest of the whole year. For me, it's very special to be in charge of this tournament.
It means a lot for me to play here in Barcelona. It's a very traditional tournament, very traditional club. For me, it's one of my favorite tournaments during the year.
Everybody knows you, so everybody supports you. It's very special, very nice to play here at Barcelona.
There was one homegrown hero especially happy to be back in Spain. Rafael Nadal, fresh from a record 10th crown in Monte Carlo, arrived with the chance of equaling that feat in Barcelona.
Winning a title is always special. And in such a special place like Monte Carlo, for me, makes the title unique, and just very happy for everything.
It's incredible. I mean, his results on clay, everywhere really are very special. He's dominated at all of the major clay court events throughout his career. So. Yeah, to win 10 times in one place is a very, very difficult thing to do.
It's a crazy number, and I think he has here the chance for
Another Decima and in Roland Garros as well. So yeah, the only thing you can say that he's by far the best player ever on this surface, and probably it's a achievement which lasts forever.
It's amazing. He's a great champion. He's the best player on clay court we can have for the moment. So, but I'm sure he wants more, and he deserves it for sure.
I'm gonna try my best to compete well here in Barcelona again, but tournament is hard. There's a lot of great players around here, so I'm gonna fight to keep playing at the higher level possible now, and let's see day by day. Remain a lot to fight for the 10th title here.
Nadal wasn't the only legend. Fans had flocked to see, making a brief return from retirement in the doubles draw was Juan Carlos Ferrero. Despite falling in the first round, it was an experience relished by the former world number one.
It's been like almost 5 years we're not been on the court with this kind of level. So for me today was so enjoyable the time that I spent on the court. So yeah, it was so funny.
To have Juan Carlos Ferrero here was a pleasure. He really played really good. He's in a very good shape, and he's an ex-number one from Spain, and he enjoyed a lot the experience.
This is a tournament that brings me some amazing experience. I won here and made finals, playing in front of our people. So always is very nice to be here.
Back in the singles main draw, there was another man making a surprise appearance. Andy Murray took a last-minute wildcard to help kickstart his clay court swing.
To have Andy at the tournament, it's really unbelievable. It's so important that we have here the world number one.
Oh, I want to try and get matches in. I haven't played many matches in the last 5 or 6 weeks, so that's the reason for coming here, and hopefully I can do that.
So much to play for then in Barcelona, but would history be made? The Barcelona final saw Dominic Thiem, fresh from a semi-final win over Andy Murray, standing between Rafael Nadal and that 10th crown in Catalonia. And it was to be Rafa's day once again. The records keep on coming for Rafael Nadal, a 10th title at the Barcelona Open Bank Sabadell, to go alongside his 10 titles in Monte Carlo. The perfect end to an historic month for the Green King of Clay.
La decena, Rafa!
It was an emotional moment.
Play here in front of my crowd, in my club, and win for the 10th time is just something that is impossible to dream. So just
unbelievable. So very happy for everything, and thanks to everybody.
I've been to Ethiopia 3 times before. My parents always, when they come here, they become more comfortable and they feel home, like I'm doing in Sweden. To see them feel happy when they meet all their families, I become happy, you know, because to leave their country and come to another country and start a new life, that's warrior stuff, you know, that's mental strength. I'm a pretty good runner, but when I'm comparing with these guys, I don't think I have a chance. I'm more tight now than before a tennis match. We were here early, but still we were not even first. A lot of runners, so it was a lot of motivation too. First time running in the Kenenisa Bekele club, very high altitude here, tough to breathe. That's why a lot of professionals come here and train. And for me, that was the first time and I really felt it actually.
In Sweden you can catch the breath when you breathe. Here it's like you breathe empty. You have to go for the air, like.
I think it's good to have someone to train with, and especially when it's my father. We have a special bond. He was the one who always pushed us when we were younger, even after every tennis session we had to run. When we were growing up, he had all the prizes from his running champions, and we saw that no tennis.
But the time is changed now. Now they give me a little bit advance and they come in the finish line before me.
We are at the biggest outdoor market in Africa. I've never seen anything like this. It's the first time I'm here and it's pretty astonishing. It's a coffee country, Ethiopia. A lot of coffee stuff. There is a lot of faith and hope here. People are happy, like a lot of things spontaneous, not so much about time. Last time I came here was more to visit my grandma's grave, and now I'm doing a little more stuff, like watching around, and to come here is a big thing. And it's good for the eye to see different stuff, you know. I live in Sweden and my parents grew up here, and it's good for me to see where they come from. You know, they only have one shoe of the pair, then they know where the other pair is of every shoe. I don't know. This is my father. This is my mom's grandmother, Etaba. This is my grandmother, my mom's mom. And this is my mom's sister. Oh, brother, what am I saying? It's crazy. My great-grandma and my grandma has blue eyes. I just don't know how. Very unusual. It's like, that's extraordinary. I hold this one. Hello, here's Ellie. Should we go inside and watch some pictures? Here's a picture of me and my brother Rafa with our grandma. Old Ellie. I look the same now. They use me for any child commercials or what? It smells so good.
This is a national Ethiopian traditional bread.
Gluten-free. And when Dad was 18, he was going to go in the army. So his sister told him, come to Sweden. My mom, when she was 18, was in Ethiopia at that time. So she couldn't work here. There was no system, no structure. So she came to Sweden, and after that, I actually don't know. They never told me exactly how they met.
We don't know each other when we live here, but we meet in Sweden for the first time.
They say to me, Elias, we're tired of running now. Please make it in tennis. If I can make something in tennis, I think that would be cool too for the country.
Still to come on ATP World Tour Uncovered, as the curtain goes up in Hungary. Action from Budapest. And part 2 of Elias Ymer's journey to Africa, exploring his roots in Ethiopia. Raven Klaasen and Rajiv Ram are proving their championship match at the 2016 ATP Finals was no fluke. With 2 titles in 2017, the team is reaping the rewards after renewing their partnership for a second straight year.
We get along, we haven't really had any hiccups along the way, and we like the same kind of food. We're generally easygoing about most things, and I think the biggest thing is also that the way we think about the game is similar. You know, we both players who are trying to maximize their potential all the time, and that's sort of the number one reason. You know, like the off-court stuff and the on-court stuff really works well, but like getting along with someone who has similar goals and aspirations is probably the driving force.
For me, I think it's, like I said, it's just been that much more enjoyable. You know, tennis has never been about pressure. It's never been about, you know, anyone else's choice. It's been my choice. I do it because I enjoy it, and even after it became a job, it was still fun for me, which I feel like I'm incredibly lucky to say that. A lot of people go to work every day and don't enjoy what they do, and I'm thankfully not one of those people.
Raj has a really good serve, and Raven kind of cleans up well at the net. He's very active. On the other side, Raj is very long at the net when Raven's serving, so he covers a lot of ground. They complement each other well from the back of the court.
They're a great team. Raven's real athletic, and Rajiv has every shot in the book. He's got a great serve, great forehand. As a team, they play real well together, and they've gotten better and better.
They're well-established players. They know what they're there for. They work hard at their game, and they treat every week as a special week. I think makes them gel, and this is why they're successful.
Last year, Raj and I had a very successful year, and we felt that even though things went really well, there were still areas where we could improve on.
I think we just learned we need to improve our consistency, you know, week in and week out. So that was one of the big things we're trying to address this year is bringing a more consistent level. Billy Heiser started working with us in Australia. The best weeks to have him around are the the training weeks, or weeks that we want to put in some work to hopefully prepare ourselves for the really big events.
I think one of the major attributes to having a coach around is sort of having someone to bounce ideas off. When you debrief after a match, it's always good to have sort of a third opinion on how things went down, and that's my biggest I think the biggest advantage of having a coach. When you are going sort of through a peak, it's not as low as when you by yourself. The turnaround becomes quick, and I think that's the value of having a coach on tour.
We have kind of our roadmap to what we need to do to make them, as successful as possible, and we're going to try and stick to that, and whatever happens at the end of the year kind of happens.
At 34 and 33 respectively, Klaassen and Ram are playing some of the best tennis of their careers. The duo's late blooming may be down to the fact that neither had professional tennis aspirations when they were growing up.
It gives them a different view on their life as professionals because they started playing pro tennis as a little bit more mature than a 15 or a 16-year-old does, so I think they have a different outlook on the game.
My body didn't develop big enough for me to be a rugby player, so that was sort of a given. So at about 15 I decided to drop everything else and give tennis a proper go, but it took a very long time for it to actually materialize into a career.
It wasn't something I thought of was going to be a career until later on. I mean, I didn't go to an academy, I played with my dad, I was more of just something I did after school. I did it quite well even as a junior, but I never really took it as seriously as some of the kids right now. I only started really thinking about it being a career at about 16, 17 years old, and then I went to college in order to further my tennis. And before that, it was something I did for fun. And I think that's a big reason I'm still out here enjoying it today, is that it's always been a source of enjoyment for me.
Beautiful town, beautiful setup. Definitely one of the nicer cities.
It's a big thing for the city, it's a big thing for the country.
Welcome to Hungary.
This year, the beautiful city of Budapest plays host for the first time on the ATP World Tour, as the Gazprom Hungarian Open is welcomed on to the tennis calendar.
I've never been here before in this city as a tourist, so it's good that they bring the tournament here. Hopefully I will be here for many days, as much as possible, and then they will give me more days to visit the city.
We had a warm welcome here, and I'm really happy to be here.
I'm very excited, very happy to come here for the first look. It seems to be a very nice tournament.
I think the host, the Tennis Federation for Hungary, and also the government did a great job to organize such an event.
The government is supporting sports very much in the past few years. It's a strategic objective. Budapest is going to be hopefully a major part of the tour.
Budapest is a great city, and it's good for the young players, the upcoming Hungarian players.
One such player was Marton Fucsovics, a young Hungarian talent full of potential.
Martin is our #1 player. He had huge success. Every time he plays at home, he gets extra energy. We had a challenger earlier this year. He made it to the finals, just lost to Jürgen Melzer, which was a good step forward.
Marton's first match saw him face Mikhail Yuzhny, and to the delight of the home fans, he claimed his first ATP World Tour main draw win.
For me, it's a pleasure to play at home in front of my family. It's the first time I receive a wild card. I never played the ATP tournament on the main draw, so it's a big opportunity for me.
As well as the new talent, the fans in Budapest were treated to a return of two greats in a legends match between Goran Ivanisevic and Marat Safin.
Me and Marat, we go long back, and he is a great guy. He's one of the most charismatic players. Pretty much the same temperament like me, and we are always getting along together. He has some interesting matches, so it's nice to be back for the first time in Budapest.
Against Goran we played, and last time I beat him, so I guess he wants the revenge now. Hopefully it will not happen.
Budapest!
As the sun began to set, the players headed to the Danube for a party on the water.
It's very, very special to be on this boat, and I heard it doesn't go on the water very often.
Really enjoyed the night on the boat. You get to see a lot of the city, and it's wonderful so far.
The fireworks were special, the food, everything was very good. They even had a show on to entertain us even more. So I think the tournament did a great job with that, and it's good in the evening to relax, and then tomorrow it's back to work again.
The final in Budapest saw top seed Luca Pouille and qualifier Aliash Bedene battling it out for the inaugural title. Pouille dominated the match, the Frenchman winning in straight sets. It's the second ATP World Tour title of Pouille's career. A worthy winner in Hungary, and after his semi-final run in Monte Carlo, his clay court swing has started very impressively. In the current Emirates ATP rankings, Andy Murray remains at number 1, with Novak Djokovic second. Switzerland's Stan Wawrinka is third. In fourth, it's Roger Federer. Barcelona champion Rafael Nadal is fifth. Then we have Milos Raonic, followed by Kei Nishikori, with Croatia's Marin Cilic completing the top 8. In the Emirates ATP doubles rankings, it's Continent and Piers out in front, with Kubot and Melo in second. The Bryan brothers are in third. In fourth, it's Murray and Suarez, with Klaassen and Ram just behind them in fifth. Roger and Takao are in sixth. Dodig and Granollers lie in seventh, with Herbert and Mahou in eighth position.
We're at the Mescal Square. Everybody comes here. It's a park where everyone get together and run and play football. It's all 6:30 in the morning and it's full here already, so it's pretty amazing. Everyone gets together. It's like we're connected. It's something. I don't know what it is. He's a Taekwondo fighter. I ran behind him and it was okay for him. He wants to help me. When I'm around people like him, I grow a lot and I really get inspired by him. Now we're at the Ethiopian Skate Park Association. It's for everyone. It's a bit dangerous. That's why when I tried I fell a few times, but otherwise I think it's a good environment. I heard some guys talking, they moved home from US and Germany and Norway here to start this camp, so it's a great thing. I'm a second Anna. I'm a second Anna. Thank you. Thank you.
In front of Kirkos Church, we can see here Zamzam Kebe Mashecha, which means Zamzam's butter shop. I have 4 sisters and she's oldest. She's the one helping me to send to Sweden. This church gave me a nice life, and before my mother died, she came every morning. Every morning. Most of Ethiopian people, they understand me because my mother was a very nice mother, you know. I lost my father when I was 12 years and my mother was very beautiful. Oh, my mother is, I feel so sad.
You have to have faith in something, you know, and we believe in God, and as I say, it helped us our life, like we came to Sweden, you know. It's a big advantage. I was here when I was 6 and practiced here actually. So I know all the guys and ball boys and stuff. It's the first time they watch me live here playing, and they watch me only on TV and YouTube. For me it's fun too actually. It's very tough. You're breathing heavily. It kills your heart to run here. If you check for your physical status, it's very good to practice here. I think it's a great initiative from ATP. I think it's a good first step, and obviously there is some guys who are doing very well at the top. It's going to be a fun to see in November where you're at. I'm very blessed. It's good to see it for myself, this kind of stuff, and I think many more people should see how it really is, and then you become more grateful.
Next week on ATP World Tour Uncovered, Treble Top. We're in Estoril, Munich and Istanbul. And Germany's Philipp Kohlschreiber, still targeting titles in his 30s. Don't forget to log on to atpworldtour.com and chat with us on the ATP's official social network MyATP, now on Vixlet, and on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. See you next week.
You're watching 6 HD.
So here they come. Russia at home, New Zealand first up for them, with Portugal and Mexico awaiting, but it would be wise of Russia not to look into the future. The job at hand is against a doughty side, used to fighting against the odds and used to travelling to far-flung corners of the football world to get unlikely results. They've travelled hopefully here. Their form not the best, New Zealand, but their spirit never dims.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of New Zealand. Дамы и господа, звучит государственный гимн Новой Зеландии. And now, the national anthem of Russian Federation. Государственный гимн Российской Федерации.
So Russia set to start their campaign in a newly constructed stadium, attempting to rebuild the team and add a sprinkling of youth while still based on the very firm foundation provided by goalkeeper Igor Akinfeev, winning his 99th cap this evening. Some other established stars such as Alan Zagoyev and Artem Zhuba are missing out in this tournament, ruled out by injury. Yuri Zhirkov has returned to fitness just in time for the tournament, but a youthful field, the likes of Golovin finding their feet at this level certainly. And a place in this starting lineup for Alexander Erokin, only two up front. Dmitry Polos, a success in the UEFA Champions League, supporting Fyodor Smolov. Wilmer Roldan from Colombia taking charge, and in this tournament the video assistant referee system also in use. New Zealand hit hard in the build-up to all this by the withdrawal of their regular captain Winston Reid through injury. Wood is doing the honours here. Confirmation of the additional feature to this tournament, as I mentioned. The New Zealand starting lineup then, all new to many of them. The likes of Michael McGlinchey go back a little bit further. He and Chris Wood came into the squad before the 2010 FIFA World Cup, and how well they did in that tournament. A total of just a handful of caps for some of the players coming in after changes made following the defeat in Minsk against Belarus. Barbarousas, Thomas and Wynne all coming in, but Chris Wood back at the Confederations Cup, where it all began for him as a teenager, in every sense now, the main man. New Zealand from right to left. That was aimed at the head of Wood, went backwards but they kept it. Steered forward by Tommy Smith. Barbarousas tidy in possession. Declan Wynne trying to get down the outside, all new to him as I mentioned. Positive from New Zealand from the off here. Kip Colby has to track back, but Zhirkov tested him. Through in the box for Russia, and Marinovic had to deal with the shot. It was a stinger certainly, and well worth it from Golovin coming in from midfield. One of the next generation, the 21-year-old CSKA midfield player. Combative, fiery. Shakir once more. Just dwelt on it a little bit, inviting Wood to have a bite at him. Or so we thought. Samadov once more. New Zealand going man for man in there. And just about getting away with it. Cleared off the line in the end by McGlinchey. Marinovic didn't know much about that, the goalkeeper. And New Zealand will have to be sharper than that, surely. McGlinchey, I mentioned, not starting on the post, but dropping in when needed, using all his experience. And keeping a cool head here with his goalkeeper beaten. Marinovic beaten a long way. Helped on by Smolov. In fact, he got it himself on the deck and did well with that. Samadov again, good crosser of the ball. Polos pulling back to the back post. New Zealand in a lot of trouble again, and it's off the line for a second time, and they are looking rocky here, New Zealand. Smith, his turn to keep his head. Polos, great touch here. Samadov with it. Zhirkov, of course, has made a career out of his ability to cross the ball from the left flank. Wherever he's played, it's been a feature of his game. Smolov turned inside his man. For a long, long way out. Marinovic, if anything, seemed to get down a little bit too soon then. And he's conceded a corner out of it. Well, there's confidence for a player only finding his feet in international football. Only Jikia's second cap, made a debut in a friendly against Hungary a few weeks ago. First competitive outing on such a huge stage here in St. Petersburg for his country. That's over Marinovic, over everybody in fact. The win over Fiji in March, setting them on the way to a playoff next against the Solomon Islands. Some defending to do here. Smolov is offside. Nasty fall by Golovin. Little scene in it by the referee Wilmer Roldan. Gets on it again. And from the back comes Glushakov. Is this the moment for Russia? Yes, it is. Russia lead. And the man who's got it is Denis Glushakov. Nobody ran with him. And New Zealand paid the price. How badly Glushakov wanted it. And how badly Russia needed it. Just past the half-hour mark, and finally New Zealand have been opened up. Scrappy passage of play all round, but Glushakov wasn't giving up on it. He made the run, he wasn't tracked. Marinovic couldn't get there, and he beat two men on the line this time after two earlier goal line clearances. Sheer determination won that duel, and Glushakov gets the opening goal of the 2017 Confederations Cup here in St. Petersburg. When down the left is cut out this time, and this is where Russia can punish New Zealand. Smolov on the drive. Zhirkov wanted it played left to him. It didn't come. Barbarouses gave it away all too quickly for New Zealand. Vassin. Smolov wanted a free kick for that. Ryan Thomas. Glushakov was going for that as well. Marinovic had to go for it. Polo's always looking to play the difficult ball. Doesn't always come off for him. And Russia have been enterprising in their approach to this in the Confederations Cup opener here in St. Petersburg. And the applause ringing around the stadium tells everything, I think. A critical home public, reassured by the goal from Denis Glushakov after the attractive opening to this tournament that the hosts did put on here. New Zealand not out of it. They are never out of it, especially at 1-0, but they're not offered a great deal. It's Russia 1, New Zealand 0. Russia get us underway in this second half. New Zealand forged their own footballing tradition by the competitive nature of their performances back in the 2010 FIFA World Cup. They were fighting for everything until the very last minute, and they need that kind of resolve here. Durante's head. Colby underneath it, did well, but it dropped invitingly for Golovin. Play goes on, used well by him, and on by Erokin. Smolov down the outside, great looking ball in, that's a fantastic stop by Marinovic, and the second one perhaps even better to deny Erokin. Magnificent goalkeeping. Sweeping Russia move once more. Lovely overlap by Smolov. Erokin went for the first one, but what a header that is by Poloz, going in, and certainly to follow up. Erokin so quick to see what was on here as it comes back from the first flying save by Marinovic. Gets there before Durante, and Marinovic equal to it brilliantly. Durante comes away with it for New Zealand. There wasn't a lot on Wood with his back to goal, a long way from goal, and it breaks down again for New Zealand. No faulting his endeavour, but it's only a free kick in the middle of the park for New Zealand. Conceded by Erokin. And Marinovic is coming up to the halfway line to take this. Smolov with the outball for Russia. That's a beautiful touch from him, and Russia can get into their flowing rhythm again now. Carried forward quickly here by Golovin. Driving run from him. Poloz, full stretch, the goalkeeper, and this time he is bailed out by another brilliant clearance, this time for Ryan Thomas for New Zealand. And a flowing Russia move produces only a corner. Switch from right to left, and hitting across the goalkeeper was Poloz from the left-hand side of the box. Yuri Zhirkov just cut off. Again, he saw what was on quickly. It's broken for Russia. Golovin, who can hit them. He can hit them much better than that, in truth. Full-blooded challenge, wasn't it, by Ryan Thomas. And it broke for Golovin to hit. Great ball in. Wasn't quite read quickly enough by Poloz. Russia free kick on the edge of the box. Golovin carted out of the way. By Durante. Now New Zealand want to make this change, even though they've got some defending to do here. I think it will be Costa Barbarouses who is going to be taken off to make way for the arrival of Bill Tuiloma. It is indeed. The plan didn't really work for New Zealand today. So to plan B in the shape of Bill Tuiloma. 19th cap here for the 22-year-old. Very versatile. Will it mean a change in formation for New Zealand? We shall see. Can play several different positions. It's Samadov. Not quite coming down quickly enough for Alexander Samadov. Russia's turn to make a change here. Dmitry Poloz is the man to make way. And he's getting a very, very good reception here. The wry smile might be because it's his own clubmate who's going to replace him from Rostov, Bukharov. More seasoned international, such a lot to like about the way Poloz goes about it. Full of ideas, confident in his ability, technically. But Bukharov has been around the block quite a few times. More basic, perhaps. Smolov on the half-turn, did that well. Got away from Ryan Thomas. Smolov, Samadov on the outside. Bukharov wants it. He didn't go for it. Russia scored their second. constructed. Smolov scores it. New Zealand just could not keep on defending. A man on a roll, Fyodor Smolov. In general play today, excellent. And certainly in prime form. That's his third in four. Little deflection as it came to him as well. He had to adjust here, and he does that so well. It's off Boxall, and Smolov as cool as you like to make it two. And now, I'm afraid, it is a very, very long way back for New Zealand.
You're watching 6HD.
Right, and that's good news here at the Queen's Park Oval. You see the two batsmen coming out. At some point, the fielders will. They're in a huddle, but the umpires are out and the batsmen couldn't wait to get out, so they're up there as well. But this is the first one-day international. West Indies versus India. Where are we? 38 overs gone. India have lost Rahane for 62, Shikhar Dhawan for 87. They put on 132 for the first wicket, and then Yuvraj for 4, chipping one straight to mid-wicket. Now 189 for 3 with 12 overs left. 8 an over gets them to 285 from here, which should be a very good score.
First to go was Ajinkya Rahane. Mistimed the slower delivery and hold out at mid-on. Azari Joseph just holding that one back a bit. Simple catch in the end. Then it was Shikhar Dhawan made across one, adjudged to be on his stumps. And even after review, the decision remained on field out. Yuvraj Singh never quite got going, clipped one smartly off his legs, but couldn't get it past the man at short mid-wicket. Evan Lewis taking a good catch.
Well, that means 12 overs to play. Jason Holder have to be clever about how he manages the resources that he has from here on. It's gone back to Miguel Cummins. That's the reason I say so. 2 to Holder, 2 to Joseph, 3 to Cummins, and Bishu is bowled out. So that's what, 4 and 3, 7 overs there. He's got to get 5 out of Nurse and Carter. This is Cummins. Dhoni ever so gently trots across for a single. There's always a sense of calm around Dhoni, except when he's whipping the bails off. And even that he seems to do very quickly, but with still that sense of calm.
Well, he's tremendously experienced. And he'll have an idea of the score India have in mind here. And how to go about getting it.
"52 minutes were lost," and that's all right, because you're allowed to lose up to an hour. You don't lose overs. So we will get all the overs in. Yes, just to put in perspective, when you talk about the vast experience of MS Dhoni, he's played more matches than this entire team put together. Many more matches than the entire opposition put together. He's made a couple of times more than that, actually. The number of runs that the opposition's made just tells you what an inexperienced side this West Indies team is. Back pad, but there's no one to catch.
I reckon they'll take a couple of overs, knock it around, just to get settled again. And then the mad scramble will start. No one close to the back, so pretty safe shot.
Sends it back, Jeffrey. Keep them away. Does take the pace off a fair bit, does Miguel Cummins. I don't know if as he grows, whether he'll start to bowl a little quicker and make the slower ball more effective. At the moment, he's about a 130, 132 kind of bowler. And in the gap easily. He stroked it so easily, so fluently. The moment he hit the gap, it was going to be 4.
Just trying to get this up into the block hole, Cummins. Overpitched. And dispatched.
Yes, and dispatched rather gently so as well. He knew that all he had to do was find the space between two fielders. The timing was good anyway. So Dhoni gets his first boundary. 6 of this over so far. And we'll gently trot across for a single to complete that one as well. 39 gone now. It's 196 for 3.
Dada ko lagta hai I'm only sharing selfies.
Mom, Dad think all I do is play video games.
Chemistry, physics, Dad.
Sound travels through air as the string moves to and fro. It creates a pressure difference that travels. Similar to that in a slinky, also visualized in a graph. So easy to understand sound.
Come fall in love with learning. Download Byju's, the learning app.
Right, 196 for 3 with 11 to play. Might still be with Carter. And I hope you're enjoying it. Their mom is watching in New Jersey.
No, India have clearly set things up for the last 10 overs. See, okay, 10 overs. We'll see how close we can get to 300. They conceivably will be at 200 in this over. And then it's just a matter of, hey, let's have a go. We have wickets in hand.
One of the things that's happened with T20 getting rampant all over the world, everyone's playing T20, is that they've realized how much you can achieve in these last 10 overs. 60 seems a lot more deliveries to a batsman, dare I say to a bowler, than previously imagined. And so people are actually willing to wait till 44, 45, where they can get 55, 60 in the last 5. But that's wide. But in Jadhav and Hardik Pandya, India have 2 very powerful hitters.
Well, the rain is back. And just about as heavy as it was when it put an end to play. Umpire's having a look, and I don't think it's going to last much longer, and it won't.
Now, the funny thing was, when it was raining there last time when they went off, right behind us on the road 10 yards away, not a drop of rain. And now, of course, they've got to go off because it's quite sharp. And everybody will run out onto the ground. But long before the groundsmen do, our sound people are up there ensuring the stump mics are all right. Some grim faces around. We only got on for an over and a bit, sadly. But this is one of those steady, irritating drizzles. It's not an angry storm that comes and vents its temper and blows away. This is irritating. Oh, there he goes, Colin Oliver. Oh, I remember the younger, slimmer Colin Oliver got there in half the time. And there he goes. There's this magnificent video of a young Colin Oliver winning a race to get there in time.
I liked how he pulled up the emergency brake at the end. But that's not looking good. That is not looking good. This looks like weather that's going to hang around for a bit. So it's going to change the nature of what happens later on in the afternoon, I'm sure. moving very slowly. Clouds look a bit angry. We just have to hope it doesn't get any heavier than this.
I thought the Caribbean didn't do anger, Jeffrey. I've yet to see anger in the Caribbean in all my visits here, but the wind is up as well. And do remember that 8 minutes of stoppage means you start losing overs. And this is where we are still, not too different from when we came back. So Kohli's moved up to 32. Dhoni got a boundary in that little time that we were there. And India have reached 199 for 3. And almost inevitably now the overs will be shortened.
The West Indies bowlers have toiled for just the 3 wickets taken by Holder, Joseph and Bishu. 199 for 3 in these conditions. They've done a decent job.
Well, they have the overs are shortened, then they not need to bowl Carter and Nurse for as long as he would otherwise have to. But you see the yellow ones coming in from the back. They cover the run-ups and the other areas as well. So that's where we are, I'm afraid.
You're watching 6 HD.